Hello, amazing English learners. Welcome back to Unlock B2 English, the podcast that's transforming your intermediate English into confident, fluent communication. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Mark. We're thrilled to have you join us for another episode designed to boost your B2 English skills. If you're a B2 English learner, you've probably reached a point where you understand a lot, but maybe you struggle with speaking naturally, expanding your vocabulary, or just feeling truly confident. Am I right?
Absolutely, Mark. Our goal is to help you bridge that gap from understanding to actively using English in real-life situations.
Today, we're diving into a super practical topic. Travel English, essential phrases for any trip. Whether you're planning a holiday, a business trip, or just dreaming of future adventures, you'll need the right words and phrases to navigate common situations.
That's right. In this episode, we'll cover key vocabulary and expressions for various travel scenarios, from checking in at the airport to ordering food in a restaurant. We'll also provide you with phrases to handle unexpected situations and make your travel experience smoother.
Key vocabulary for today includes check-in desk, the place at the airport where you present your ticket and baggage before a flight. Boarding pass, a document you need to show before you get on a plane or ship. Aisle seat, a seat next to the aisle in a plane, train, or bus. Window seat, a seat next to the window. Customs, the official department that collects duties on goods entering and leaving a country and controls the flow of people. Luggage/baggage claim, the area in an airport where you collect your bags after a flight. Public transport, buses, trains, subways, and other forms of transport that are available to the public. Reservation, a booking you have made for a room, a table, or a flight. Bill/check, the written statement of the amount of money you owe for goods or services.
Before we jump into the main discussion, think about this. What's one common problem you faced when trying to communicate in English while traveling? Keep that in mind as we go through today's phrases.
Okay, let's start at the very beginning of any trip, the airport. When you're at the check-in desk, you might hear or need to say things like, "I have a reservation under your name," or "Is this a direct flight?" You might also be asked, "Do you have any checked baggage?" Or, "Would you prefer a window or an aisle seat?"
And don't forget security. You'll often hear, "Please remove your liquids and electronics," or "Empty your pockets." It's important to understand these instructions quickly to avoid delays. Once you're through, finding your gate involves phrases like, "Where is gate 23?" or "Is this the correct terminal for flights to London?" After your flight, you'll head to luggage/baggage claim to pick up your bags, and then you'll go through customs.
Excellent point, Sarah. Now let's fast forward to arriving at your destination. When you get to your hotel, common phrases include, "I'd like to check in, please," or "Do you have my reservation?" You might need to ask, "Is breakfast included?" or "What time is checkout?" And if there's a problem, you might say, "The air conditioning isn't working," or "I have a problem with my room."
Navigating a new city also involves key phrases. For directions, you might ask, "Excuse me, how do I get to the station?" or "Is it far from here?" If you're taking public transport, you'll need to know, "Where's the nearest metro station?" or "How much is a ticket to the city center?"
And of course, food is a big part of any trip. In a restaurant, you might say, "A table for two, please," or "Could I see the menu?" When ordering, "I'll have the pizza," or "What do you recommend?" are very useful. And don't forget to ask for "the bill, please," or "the check, please," when you're finished.
Beyond these everyday situations, it's always good to be prepared for the unexpected. Phrases like, "I've lost my passport," or "I need to see a doctor" are crucial in emergencies. Or even simpler, "Could you repeat that, please?" or "Could you speak more slowly?" are always helpful if you're struggling to understand.
So, to recap, we've covered essential English phrases for various travel situations, from airports and hotels to asking for directions and ordering food. We also touched on phrases for unexpected situations. The goal is to make you feel more confident and independent when you're communicating in English abroad.
Now, for your weekly challenge, imagine you're on a trip and you encounter one of the following situations. 1. You're at the airport and your flight is delayed. 2. You're in a restaurant and you need to ask for a vegetarian option. 3. You need to ask for directions to a specific museum. Choose one of these scenarios and mentally, or even better, aloud, practice what you would say using the phrases we've discussed today.
Try to create a short mini dialogue in your head or with a partner. The more you practice these phrases in a simulated context, the more natural they will become when you need them in real life.
That's it for today's episode of Unlock B2 English. We hope these phrases will be incredibly useful for your next adventure.
Remember to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform so you don't miss any new episodes.
Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back in a few days with our next episode, Understanding British versus American English, Key Differences.
Don't miss it. See you then.